What is a crypto asset? Well, a crypto asset is a digital representation of something of value put on a blockchain. Things of value like gold, paintings, vintage albums, are collectibles. You will find representations of that, like that, on a blockchain. Some assets that, crypto assets, are currencies, and some crypto assets are not currencies. So people confuse the two. Cryptocurrencies are a derivative of crypto assets. They may not be the same. For example, non-fungible tokens are a crypto asset but not a cryptocurrency. The question also is, what is a blockchain? A blockchain is an immutable, private, decentralized, peer-to-peer network that uses some type of consensus protocol in order to decide on whether the block is valid. You could think of it like years ago, if there was just one person before money, one person that kept a ledger for all the transactions that occur in the community. And for some reason, that one person did something fraudulent or did something incorrect. There would be no way you can dispute that. But in a blockchain, what happens is everybody has the same data. Everybody has access from the same data. You can't change it. Once it's done, it's immutable. And there is a protocol in which the blockchain decides what's a valid transaction and what's not a valid transaction. The reason why it's important is because it's all crypto assets and cryptocurrencies run on the blockchain. Now it's time to talk a little bit about Ethereum and Solana. Now that we have the background together, Ethereum was the first, second actual blockchain after Bitcoin. It was established in 2014 actually. And when it first came out, it came out with proof of work. Proof of work is a way to validate blocks on the blockchain, but with proof of work, it requires energy. So there's costs related to that. And that's how very simply, you're not going to spend your money on energy to generate a block if you don't think you have a chance to win it. And eventually Ethereum went to proof of stake, and that's where it is today. It uses Ethereum's virtual machine, which is a Turing machine, which means that Ethereum can run on any type of computer. And it uses a programming language called Solidity. Solidity is a human type language. It doesn't require you to be a programmer in order to write to Solidity, which is a big plus. But when you look at Solana, Solana was founded in 2017. It was named after a beach in California. And it uses proof of stake, like Ethereum does now, but it also uses something called proof of history. And proof of history allows the blockchain to organize all of the data in a sequential order. Solana also uses a virtual machine called Solana Virtual Machine, which means that that's a Turing machine that can run on any type of computer. Solana uses validators also. If you like the video, now's the time to give me a thumbs up. Now, the difference between the two is Ethereum is not as fast as Solana. It processes a block. It takes seconds to process a block on the Ethereum chain. On Solana, you can do blocks in milliseconds. But for Ethereum, what's happened is there are developers that develop something called rollups, which I'm going to do another video. And what the rollups do, it allows basically another chain below the Ethereum blockchain to put all of the data together to send a bunch of data or batch data up to the block. So the block can process a lot faster than it would if it just had to do one transaction. So that's what they use for speed. Solana is much faster. It does use parallel processing speeds, which means that multiple transactions can go at the same time. Ethereum does not use parallel processing, so it's a one-to-one transaction. Ethereum is much larger as an ecosystem for DeFi, smart contracts, and has a huge amount of developers working to develop on the Ethereum blockchain. That is an incredible plus. Without having people writing DeFi and smart contracts, investing in your particular blockchain, you're in trouble. And Ethereum has a tremendous advantage there. The consensus protocol, as we talked about on Solana, is not as trustworthy as it is on Ethereum. That's something to remember. Solana also, in order to program Solana, you have to know Rust or C++. These are programming languages that requires specialty in background in order to do that. All the stable coins out there are either running on Ethereum or Solana, but most of them are running on Ethereum. Stable coins like USDC coin, which was just announced that, runs on Ethereum. Ethereum has some advantages. It said the ecosystem, which I think is going to be huge. Programming is a lot easier on Ethereum. There are more developers developing products to run on Ethereum. There is a method now in reducing the gas fees. I didn't talk about that on Ethereum. There is a fee that you pay when you process a block, and it's called a gas fee. That's going to be reduced. And they're both decentralized, and Ethereum has better security. Over the 10 years that Ethereum has been running, there's never been a compromise to the blockchain. For Solana, I can't say that. The Solana blockchain was compromised 2 times. One time by a wallet issue in 2022, and one time by a hack in 2024. That security and trust on the blockchain is critical for any such program. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and have a great day.